Hey, Bickies and Internet, how's it going? It's Tara from Biscuit. I'm live, I'm late, and I'm here to talk to you about visual branding. Now, you might be saying, hey Tara, you said you'd be here at 12 o'clock and now it's, 12:15, why are you late? No, it's not, it's 20 past, why are you 20 minutes late? Well, I'll tell you why. I run a membership community called the Biscuit Factory, and in the Biscuit Factory we do one-on-one coaching calls every season to keep everyone in line and, you know, goals set up and all this good stuff. And I got carried away with my last call with Ed from videoclip.ie, and we had a great session and we talked for Ireland, and so that is why I'm late. So I apologize if you tuned in at 12 and I wasn't here, but I'm here now. Better late than never, as my mother used to always say. So I'm also streaming live into Facebook today rather than using the software I was using yesterday because it was very crackly that you guys were giving me feedback on it, and thank you for giving me feedback on it. And I hope this stream is a lot smoother than yesterday's, because I know how annoying it is watching someone freeze and stutter and go all wibbly wobbly. So I hope that this one is better than yesterday's. Okay, so Karen Walsh, hey, how's it going? Nice to see you here, Karen. And I hope some other people might join in. On that note, I might share this video to my group, if I can, and invite a few people in. Okay, so thanks, Karen. Nice heart going across the page there. Thanks, Karen. Okay, so we're going to talk about visual branding. What is visual branding all about? The last few videos we talked about, okay, what do you want to be known for? What is your business all about? What is the message you're wrapping around what you do? That's what we talked about in the first video. The second video, we talked about who you should be actually selling to, and have you actually thought about that? Who should you be selling to? What does that look like? What does that avatar look like? And I hope that you spent a bit of time on that. Now, that takes a lot of time, so don't expect to figure that out straight away, but it's definitely something to think about and dive into to actually know and understand your ideal client. And today we're going to talk about visual branding. So what does visual branding mean? Does it mean? So visual branding is bringing your brand into a visual context rather than a text context, right? But it hits a lot of things. It hits your logo, the colors that you use, the images that you use, how you present your images online. And all this stuff has to be at a certain level. And the most important thing about understanding the impact of visual branding is it has to make sense to what we talked about in video 1. It has to make sense to what your business is known for. What is the message wrapped around what you do? And your images have to reflect that. For example, Biscuit is all about creativity and community. So all my images and everything that I put out there has relevance to my message that's wrapped around what I do. And that's what builds your brand in a deeper way, because as we all know, image resonates. Image and video make an impact into people's brains. You remember image much more than reams and reams of text. Like, you remember the image. So choosing your images, choosing how you present your images is vital for building a brand online and offline. And there's a few key things I want to talk to you today about the whole visual branding thing and how you can actually start moving on that and trying to get your head around what you should actually do today to work on your visual branding. So the first thing that I want you to think about and look at in what you do is your fonts. How many fonts do you use around your work? Now, you might have a blog or a newsletter, or just your offline stuff like your brochure or a flyer, or you know, whatever content you're producing that that needs you to create text around what you do. Keep it simple and legible. Okay, so I see this day in, day out on websites and even on brochures and offline stuff. You pick up something, and you've probably seen this now as well, like you pick up something and it's really flowery. All the text is difficult to read because there's all this elaborate, you know, artistic fonts that are being used for the main body of the text, right? But you can't read it and it gives you a headache. So when you're deciding on fonts for your business, that's a question in itself, have you decided on a font for your business? And what is that font? Do you know what font you use? Because you want to know what font you use. You want to write it down. And every time you go to produce online or offline content, you use that font. I recommend max using 3 fonts. Maybe a different font for a header, and maybe you'd use a different font in your logo. But using 10, 25, 8 fonts, it gets too busy. Think about the recipients. There's people consuming content left, right, and center. So if your content is all different fonts, lots of flowery stuff, people find that hard to decipher. They need simplicity to actually engage with what you're saying, rather than trying to figure out their eyeball movements to actually read the thing. So be careful with your fonts and what that looks like going out. Plus, just as I'm going to talk about the actual imagery, consistency with font use is really important too. You want consistency. So this is why it's important to know the fonts you use, the sizes that you use, write it up, put it on your desk, your wall by your desk, or wherever you produce your work, and know your fonts, right? And know the sizes that you use, okay? And keep it consistent throughout. 2, image. My favorite subject. I love image. I feel the strength of it. It has enhanced my business and what I do, and it is so important. My big tip, if you have money to invest in image, it's the best money I spend. Every year I do a photo shoot, and it is the best investment in my business. Find a good photographer, get some really good images of you and what you do. If you're not the front of your business, if you're not comfortable, get images of you working, of your place of work, your studio, your retail space where you sell your work. Whatever image represents what you do, or your products, get really, really good images that you can repurpose over and over again throughout your year. You can use for social media, for brochure. Like, I mean, it is a no-brainer. But I know that investing in that is, you know, it costs money, and you mightn't be at that stage of your business yet. You might be, you know, scrambling to pay for internet connection and, you know, software to use video or whatever. You're not at that stage yet, but that shouldn't stop you producing quality image for your communication going out. So there are loads of free tools that you can use to help you on that journey if you're not ready yet to invest. Canva.com is the biggest lifesaver in the world when it comes to not having budget to pay a designer. This is a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant tool. It's a DIY design tool. It cuts out all the guesswork with what size is the banner for Facebook, how many things do I need to make. It's all templatable. You get inspiration from this platform. It's super easy to use, and you can pull images from there as well that they have inside the platform. So if you're stuck on trying to professionalize your social profiles and you don't have the income yet or the revenue yet to spend on a designer or a photographer, Canva.com should be your best friend. I love Canva. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so easy to use and so powerful. So dive into that. And the second thing is accessing quality images. Again, if you can't afford a photographer yet, a great resource is, I have it written down here, StockSnap.io. I'll leave it in the comments below. And that's a great resource for high quality image that you can download and use. Just be careful what type of images you choose. It has to make sense to your business. So like you wouldn't put up if you're a potter, you wouldn't put up an image of two people in a suit shaking hands, like, you know, it doesn't match what you do, right? But it might be a nice image, but does it, like, the vision of what you do, the message that you wrap around your stuff doesn't make sense. So just be careful with what images you actually choose from these resources. I'm just going to have a quick gawk at the messages to see who is talking to me there. I can see, hey, Andy Gibson, how's it going? Hey, Pierce, how are you? Lorna, how's it going? Katrina, hey, Liga, brilliant. Hi, Liga, how's it going? Liga, I love your name. You are a biscuit, like. Liga the biscuit. Great to see you. Andy says, font seriously makes a difference in business. Yeah, it does. It so does, by the way. And it just streamlines everything and it makes it easier to consume. Because if you have loads of fonts, like, your head would be melted trying to consume content. So, fonts, again, Andy, fonts. Images, obviously, they're really important for what you put out there. And then, and we're in a brilliant time as well. Our phones and, you know, the cameras that you can buy now are super powerful and can create really beautiful image. So, you know, you can take images yourself of your products, or you at your desk, if you get a tripod and set up a little scene. And the whole point is not to put out really bad image, because it'll impact your brand and it will not do you any favors. So post nothing if you don't have any strong images, and do some research and put out the best image that you have, all relevant to what you want your brand to be known for. Okay, so I hope that helped. That's it for me for today. I hope you have a lush Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday, and it's Show Off Friday over on Bite the Biscuit. If you're not already a community member over there, feel free to join us if you're a creative in business. On Fridays, we like to show off in there, and it's a very active group on a Friday especially, and it's very interesting to see what everybody is up to. So feel free to join the community. I'll leave the link in the comments, and feel free to comment and give me emoji things and do all the cool things Facebook lets us do in the comment section, and ask any questions. I answer all questions, and all feedback is hugely welcome. Okay, that's it. Keep creative. Thanks a million. Talk to you soon. Bye.